Matt here with St. Bonaventure University Cyber 503, Week 7, Lab number 2. In this lab, we are going to take a memory dump and find out the following information. List of processes, DLLs for one of the processes, and a list of network connections. For this lab, we are going to, we have gotten the actual memory dump from our Windows 7 virtual machine using WinPMM, and we've written it out to test.raw. Here is the output of our WinPMM command, and the file is written out to test.raw. As you see, it's about 3.5 gigs. And so for processing this, I moved it over to my production machine instead of the VM. One of the reasons for that is with Volatility, you may want to have more memory available on your processing device than was captured on the target device. So that it's very helpful to have the 18 gigs of RAM that's on my production machine to process this this memory file here, this test.raw. So in order to do that, we command prompt, and we're using Volatility. The first thing we want to do in Volatility is get the image info. Let me just take a sip of my coffee real quick. So we have the image info, and the reason for that is we want to be able to get our suggested profile so that Volatility can use that profile to analyze the memory dump. And here's the output of that command. The next thing we are doing is we are getting the process tree to get the process list, and we got it as a tree so you can see which processes are sub-processes of like say WinInit here, LSM, services, and under services you get the SVC host. So here's our processes. The next thing we want to do is get a DLL list of specific process, and I chose PID 508, which was, I believe, a TCP. Where is that? 508 is in here somewhere. It was a TCP. There it is. 508 TCP services.exe. So we're using that with our test.raw, our profile, DLL list for that specific process ID, or PID. And our output for that shows the drivers loaded for this specific process. And here they are, including TCP services.exe and several other DLLs in the Windows System 32 path. And finally, we want to get the connections. I ran the connections flag, which doesn't support, and I looked it up in the documentation. That's only for Windows XP or Server 2003. Instead, we need to use the netscan flag to test the connections. As you can see here, our connections with this device. Some SNMPs, SVC host. And here's all of our connections, the IP version, what they're connected to. And as you can see, actually we have some external connections here, network connections at the end, to some other devices on the network, because I have some shared folders in my networking. And that's it. I've got the full dump here in the lab2.txt, which I'll attach as well to see the complete command output. So there is a memory dump within PMM, and looking at that memory dump with Volatility. This is Cyber 503 Lab 7, or Week 7 Lab 2. Thanks.